Have you ever gotten a medical bill in the mail that completely blindsided you? You thought insurance had it covered, but nope. It's so frustrating and it happens all the time. But what if I told you that one simple, proactive phone call could prevent almost all of that chaos? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. The all-important but often overlooked eligibility and benefits verification call. And really, this is the choice, right? You can spend 5 minutes on the phone upfront just getting your facts straight, or you can spend 5 hours, sometimes way more, on the back end trying to fix a denied claim. When you think about the fact that denied claims cost the healthcare industry billions of dollars every year, this isn't just a smart idea, it's the ultimate example of prevention being better than the cure. I love this way of thinking about it. Seriously, a pilot would never, ever dream of taking off without running through their pre-flight checklist. It's all about ensuring safety and a smooth flight. This phone call, it's the exact same concept, but for a patient's financial journey. It's a professional standard that just sets everyone up for success. So what really makes this the most important call in healthcare? Well, it's the foundation that everything else is built on. As we go through these next few steps, you're going to see exactly how getting this one call right prevents denied claims, gets rid of those awful surprise bills, and makes sure the doctor actually gets paid on time. Okay, so where do we start? With the absolute basics. Now, this might seem almost too simple, but you'd be surprised. One tiny error right here, a misspelled name, a wrong digit in an ID number, can get the entire claim instantly thrown out. It's all about laying a solid 100% accurate groundwork. So the start of the call is basically a 3-part intro. Super simple. First, who you are, the clinic or billing service. Second, who the patient is. You need their name, date of birth, and member ID. And third, who the provider is. And here's the kicker. You need their specific name, NPI, and tax ID. A lot of people forget that insurance plans cover a specific doctor, not just the building they work in. You have to confirm that this doctor is covered for this patient. Once everyone's identified, you've got 3 key questions to get through. First and foremost, is the policy even turned on? Is it active today? Sounds obvious, but you have to check. Second, what are the start and end dates for the coverage? And third, and this is a big one, is this plan primary? Meaning, is it the first in line to pay? If a patient has 2 insurance plans, getting that order wrong is a one-way ticket to an automatic denial. It's just non-negotiable. Okay, so you've confirmed they're covered. Now we get to the question that every single patient is thinking. So what's this going to cost me? This part of the call is all about financial transparency, and it's so important for the patient experience. It builds trust and lets them know what to expect, so there are no surprises later. The first piece of that cost puzzle is the deductible. The easiest way to think about it is like a cover charge for your insurance year. You have to pay this amount yourself for your healthcare, and only after you've hit that number does the insurance company actually start to chip in and share the costs. But here's the thing, and this is where so many people trip up. Just asking, what's the deductible, isn't enough information. A patient could have, say, a $5,000 deductible, but maybe they've already spent $4,900 on other medical stuff this year. The real question is, how much is left? That remaining balance is the only number that actually matters for today's visit. This little checklist here breaks down the 4 main parts of what a patient might pay. Let's run through them. First, you've got the copay. That's just the flat fee you pay for a visit, like $25. Next is coinsurance. That's the percentage of the bill you split with the insurance company after you've met your deductible. Then, of course, is the deductible we just talked about. And finally, the out-of-pocket maximum. This is your financial safety net. It's the absolute most you'll have to pay for covered services all year. Get these 4 numbers and you've got the whole financial picture. All right, you've confirmed the patient is covered and you know the costs. Now we get to the tricky part, navigating the insurance plan's specific rules. This is the fine print, where if you miss a single step, you're looking at a guaranteed denial, even if the service is something that's supposed to be covered. And the absolute #1 rule you have to check is the provider's network status. As you can see, the difference here is like night and day. In-network means the doctor has a contract with the insurance company, which means lower, predictable costs for the patient. Out-of-network means there's no contract and the patient could be on the hook for a much, much bigger bill, sometimes the whole thing. You just can't assume. You have to ask, point blank, is Dr. Smith in-network for this specific plan? And it doesn't just stop with being in-network. There are a bunch of other little gatekeepers you have to know about. For example, does the service need prior authorization? That's basically asking the insurance company for permission before you do anything. Does the patient need a referral from their primary care doctor? Are there weird limits, like only 10 physical therapy visits per year? Missing any of these rules is like showing up to a locked door without the key. You're just not getting in. We are on the home stretch. You've done all the heavy lifting. You've verified the patient, the costs, and the rules. This last step is just about making sure all that hard work actually pays off by confirming exactly where to send the bill. And it all comes down to getting the right address. Now, for a paper claim, that's a physical mailing address. But these days, most claims are sent electronically. For that, you need something called the payer ID. The best way to think of it is as the insurance company's digital routing number for their bank account. If you use the wrong ID, your claim doesn't get paid. It just gets lost in cyberspace. So you see, at the end of the day, that 5-minute pre-flight checklist does so much more than just gather a few facts. It creates confidence for the provider that they'll get paid, it gives clarity to the patient so they know what to expect, and it just makes the whole process smoother for absolutely everyone involved. The real magic here is how a simple structured script can cut through a massively complex system. This little checklist completely demystifies insurance verification. So that leaves me with one final question for you. What other complicated process in your work or even in your life could be made